Hi there, welcome back to another episode of This Old Range, where today I'm going to make some do-it-yourself Tarkov inspired game props. This is a 2x6. This is going to end up being 6 hard drives. I'm just going to, all I did was just, I measured them out and marked them. I think they're supposed to be like 6 or 9 inches or something like that. I'm just going to hit that with a chop saw over there and then paint them. That's an easy project. These are 2x3s, right? 2x? Yeah. This is going to be WD-40, the Gunpowder or the G-Powder, and apple juice. Now, technically, if you look at like how not that big in diameter it is, the actual items in the game look to be a lot rounder? No, more width. It's larger diameter. But the wood that would have been the equivalent diameter for what I wanted to use was way more expensive, so I'm not doing that. This I'm going to end up cutting to be a circuit relay. So this was just an old board I had. This was just old plywood that I had laying around. So I sort of just kind of marked it off with a pencil. Do I have a pencil? Around here somewhere. And then I just hit it with a handsaw. So then I can finish this, then just use that as a stencil to make my second one. So here's the pencil. Yeah, just use this little guy. That's gonna be 6 hard drives, and I think I'm doing 3 gunpowders, 2 WD-40s, and 3 apple juices out of this, somewhere in there. I'll have to bring up the list. But yeah, this is all I'm using. This is just cheap wood, some saws, and spray paint. The spray paint is actually the most expensive part. So these were like $2, I think. These were like $1 or $2 a piece. This was $5, $5 or $6, and that I just had laying around because they didn't have the small size that I wanted. They just had the larger sizes of plywood without getting like the really expensive interior quality like cedar. So I just had OSB laying around, or not OSB, plywood laying around from the Christmas stuff I'd done. So, let's do stuff. So the basic premise of the game is pretty simple. Tarkov is basically just a scavenger hunt with team deathmatch. So they have to find a select number of those items each. So I have 4 teams of 3 players each that start in each corner. And each corner turns into an extraction point for anyone after the game starts. So there's no real spawn points. I'm using a standard medic rule with bandages and stuff. So each team has to find the same amount of those items. Well, if you notice, I have 4 teams. Well, there's only 2 relays. So that means that they're gonna have to fight it out or ambush a team and take them or whatever. I also have fluent Russian speakers that have volunteered to play the part of scavs, and they're just sort of like a third neutral party They're not supposed to be like direct action. They're really just response based. So if you shoot at them, they will shoot back. But they have dog tags that you have to take from them. So you have to kill a scav and take their dog tag, and that's one of the items you have to get. And you cannot extract until you collect all those items. There'll be a separate video on that. So a couple days have gone by. By a couple days, I mean like a week. I got stuff to do. All right. Really, the measuring and cutting, aka the hard part, might have taken 30 minutes to an hour, on top of making sure I had like all the angles and stuff for this video. Really, if I didn't care about filming this and telling a story, you could have had everything cut and measured in 30 minutes if you were properly prepared. Everything else was just painting and making sure I had the kind of the aesthetic I was going for. Here's what it's looking like right now. So we got the phase relay right here. All I did was just cut it out and hit it with this. This is the soft iron, blah, blah, blah. I had to get 2 cans of that because I was using it for some other stuff as well. But this is really all it is. I'm trying to hit it from some different angles so you can see the lighting. This is one and this is one. I just have this propped up because I've been painting it and using kind of a smaller surface. So that's what that looks like. The hard drives are just solid black blocks. I did, for an added aesthetic, I hit it with, so I mapped this off and hit it with the soft iron. So this is black on soft iron, and I just did this maybe 15 minutes ago just to demonstrate for the video, just to give it a cooler aesthetic other than making kids look for black blocks like we're in preschool. For the WD-40, all I did was just paint this blue. All you had to do is just cut it to size, tape it off, and I'm painting the red tip blue, or the top of it blue. I might add another label to it. Here's what it looks like right now. Let me get that out of the direct sunlight. Here's what it looked like right now. I just marked the top off with painter's tape and painted the top. I didn't mark it off or measure it or anything. I just sort of eyeballed it. Here's what the gunpowder, the G powder, is gonna look like. Again, it's supposed to actually be shorter and wider, but this was a more economical way to do it because this whole board was like $2 or $3. So all I did was cut this to size. Again, hit it with the soft iron. Then I taped it off the top, similar to the WD-40, and taped off a center part kind of for like a label effect. So this is what the whole thing's gonna look like. And I've been using the same color. So this is the same green that I'm using for the apple juice. This is the same soft flat iron that I'm using for the relay and for the effect on the hard drive. These are my 3 apple juices. They're still kind of wet because I added another coat of green to them. All I'm gonna do with these ones, I thought I had white spray paint, I don't. So I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna make a white top with a skinny white label on it, and that's gonna be it. That's really the whole DIY video. I'm gonna do some separate ones for the gameplay, and I will probably turn this game type into a public game for my regular public play, just because the kids are getting bored with the current games. So my field YouTube will have that video plus some stuff for the private event I'm doing this Saturday. That's it. This is all you need. All I did for DIY Tarkov props, I took some boards, I cut the boards, I painted the boards. That's it. The most expensive part of this, if you don't have the tools, the hardest part is painting. That's it.
Caber, who the f*** are you, nerd?